I would have been poking you the whole time. It's not good because I want to record.
Some aspect of what you're doing is queer or is it human? And if my grant application comes through, I want to write a book called Transpoetics, and the premise is going to be that that there is a transpoetics, and it doesn't have to do with who's writing, and it doesn't have to do with what they're writing about, and it doesn't have to do even with special resources of language. It has to do with using language in a way that the goal is to emphasize the disjunctions between body and soul, in particular, or disjunctions, alternative conjunctions. I think a lot of people do this, and I think that in the new poems, your use of that massively parallel syntax, so you have these endless array of differences, but you don't know what they're modifying, would be a great example. I mean, that is a simple resource of the language, but when it's deployed that way, it raises a question about whether there is an identity at the end of all of those distinctions, or whether the categories themselves are sort of the life force that are always generated. You gave me faith that this project will make sense. So, when I was young, which is to say a guy, I went to the Aspen Writers Conference, and Robert Haas gave what I think for a lot of people was a life-changing craft lecture. And he was trying to answer this question about, what does form mean to a free-verse poet? I know it's our guilty little secret that we don't know, but we explained it to you. And what he said was that form in free-verse poem is like form in any other art. It is the way the shape of what you make reflects your vision of the shape of existence. And he told a story that made it clear that he felt that shape of existence that's reflected in the shape of what you make, number one, is rooted in bodily experience, and number two, that it changes. And I have found that this really makes sense to me, and it makes sense down to the level of syntactical choices. So I'm going to read a bunch of poems that are gendery from different periods, and I think you'll see that the poetic means, in the sense of the wholeness of the piece, really changes at different times. I'm going to start with something from Transmigration, which is the first book that I published under my true name, and most of the poems in it were written as like alternatives to suicide. Well, I could kill myself now, or why don't I write a couple of poems? I remember one particularly bad time when I looked down and said, oh, I just wrote 4 poems. How did that happen? Okay. This is called Somewhere Between Male and Female. Somewhere between male and female, the soul gets lost. Where are you, calls the mother of the soul. But the soul never had a mother. Get back here this instant, the father demands. But somewhere between male and female, the soul failed to be fathered. Male and female split at the seams, leaving the soul naked, crisscrossed with scars. Male scars and female scars, breast scars and testicle scars. Scars like doors and scars like fingers. Fingers point at the naked soul. Doors slam in its face. No, the soul is still alone. It's only dreaming it's been discovered in the space between male and female, where no one will ever find it. This is something very recent. I'm not sure I can claim to have written it. It's a free adaptation of biblical language from a psalm and a chunk of Jeremiah. And I wrote it for a ritual that was performed actually last weekend for me to sort of concretize my sense of a new identity. Because they never give you a card. They don't say, okay, you've transitioned. Here's your woman card. And now you're officially. So there's a real question about like where are you going and when will you know if you got there. So I wrote these different poems in the voices of pieces of myself because I didn't know how they fit together, and my closest friends read them. My voice is the voice of your body. I cry out all night, but you don't listen. You treat me like I'm dead, like I'm the grave of someone you hated. You batter me the way waves batter the shore. I call out to you every day. I stretch my hands. They're your hands, too, toward you. From the day we were born, I, like you, have been tormented, teetering at the edge of the pit. Your fury overwhelms me. Your terrors wash over me. They surround me on every side. You're ashamed of me. You deny me. You keep me out of sight. Bring me back from exile. Gather me in, all of me, my blindness and my lameness, my immaturity and my advancing age, my pleasures and my tears. I'm not what you want, but I am what I've always been. Your mother, your daughter, your stream of water, your home, your road beyond it. Be patient with my clumsiness. Lift me up like a timbrel. The women are waiting. It's time to join the dance. So this is from Coming to Life, and one of the, you can develop bad habits, no matter what gender you present as. One of the bad habits I've developed is writing poems that use language found in Cosmo Girl. It's not publishing anymore. There are a lot of back issues. This is not good for me. So this is one of those poems. It's called Survival Guide. No matter how old you are, it helps to be young when you're coming to life, to be unfinished, a mysterious statement, a journey from star to star. So break out a box of Crayolas and draw your family looking uncomfortably away from the you you've exchanged for the mannequin they named. You should help clean up, but you're so busy being afraid to love or not, you miss how fun it is to clothe yourself in the embarrassment of life. Frost your lids with midnight, lid your heart with frost, rub them all over, the hormones that regulate the production of love from karmic garbage dumps. Turn yourself into the real you can only discover by being other. Voila! You're free. Learn to love the awkward silence you are going to be. So I'd like to read from the forthcoming collection, The Definition of Joy, which, if Stanley Moss finishes telling you what he doesn't like about the book, should be out in June or so. Part of the ritual of getting published with Chic editors, you go through this fairly detailed critique. Well, this sucks, what do you think? So, this is called North and South. Don't underestimate your need to cross the line. Frozen on the wrong side of your desire to remove the world, inverted in the mirror of your otherness. How can you be true to the truth of being human? Something that bends with a universe that doesn't. A messy blend of guts and spirit, responsibility and shame. You are only an inch from the constantly moving source of life, no matter how passionately you stuff your body into two tight boxes, male or female, north or south, poor or rich, white or some other socially demarcated shade. You check because you are scarred by the lines that keep you safe from more complicated combinations. And you know no one will mind if you don't have the guts to tell the truth, as long as you stay on your side of the line. This is called Truth. It's another Cosmo Girl poem. I'm going to just stop admitting this. Truth. You're not complete, but you know right off the bat that what you picture is unforgivably ugly, like a plastic mustache on a burning beehive, is just your fair share of shame, natural but false. a zigzag judgment that flatters your lust to cheat yourself of life. The truth, like a silkworm, speaks without talking, totally sincere, but not a real conversation maker, more like a scent, chocolate or apples, a glimpse of wet silk in moonlight, or a memory of a ribbon stolen from a sister you didn't have. The body frozen in the mirror with a rare disease is waiting for someone to lift the pleats of your life, to touch the skin below the ice, to unzip the zippered lips of goodness steaming like milk inside. You bristle at the light that winks in your direction. Once you were a brain in a void, then a feeling of mutilation, cold but with a sense of humor. Then literature took you by the hand, absorbing your lengthening history of loss by padding it with meaning. You say you kissed that waist goodbye, but you kiss that waist every day, cheating on the love that swept you out of the void into the blazing turquoise music of becoming, a girl diving from death into life, into the bright fatal hands of the truth that whispers, silkworm innuendos on the other side. So, yeah. So that was written at a time when I didn't expect to have many dates. And I mean, I thought, okay, the cost of becoming myself was being alone. And then as it happened, I fell in love with somebody who fell in love with me. So it was time for more Cosmo Girl poems. So this is a couple of those. It's called pronunciation. Your body is a word I'm dying to pronounce, hypnotized by the boy tensing inside you. Panther-waisted, Dutch-sketched equestrian lounging on horseback, skin polished ivory, lips coral. Sun just up, he is, you are, twisting your torso toward the world, the true and fictional world I thread, a true and fictional girl against a sunshot wall, vined with desire to performatively pronounce myself as whole as you, girl and boy, alone and smitten, ridden and riding off on wondrous muscles, thoughtless and thoughtful as the sky reflected in the river I undrink as I return to life, determined to remember the I ditched when I ditched the world, physical, metaphysical, and wholly true as you. I'd like to read something from a collection. I keep saying I'm finishing this collection, but when you say it long enough, you start wondering if that's the right way to put it. Maybe working on. It's more like it. This is. I just want to read two more. They're both from a series of letters to abstractions, basically. And the language in them was found in a rare book dealer's catalog. My girlfriend is a curator of rare books, so she gets really exciting reading material about that. This is called Letter to the Feminine. You are a dream of olives and clamshells, stained sheets, dark places between tails and spines, mounting fears filleted to reveal the spiritual complications of your carefully preserved but perforated wings. You are a calculated performance I rehearse again and again, my style detached, my breasts incandescent, little theaters of impossibility, immature stages of the women you offer me, dead women, married women, women at crossroads, women stuck between medieval pages, fluttering in slips, flirting with socialism. Mounted, judged, incarcerated, rubbed by unknown hands, I waded through your editions, lives you found, lives you stitched, lives you flushed with the wine of dedication, toward the truth you've hidden in my own time, in my own skin, in my own self unfolding, over your passionate objections, through your suffering.